What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? What is going on? Where's everybody at? I know it's late on a Friday night? Today is Friday, right? Late on a Friday night. I just thought I would hop on here real quick and see what was going on and see if anybody was out there tonight. That is about it. What is going on? I am out of town, so I thought I would just hop on here for a moment and see if anybody was out there. All right, I think that got it. What is going on, Busy Blast? What is going on, Exclusive? You guys should be able to hear me now, right? You guys should be able to hear me now. What is up, everybody? Am I still muted? All right. Busy Blast says, can I ask you a question? What's going on? What's the question? Okay. See if that gets it done. What's going on, Dana Shaw? Skeptical Mantis. What's your question, Busy Blast? Go ahead and ask. What is your question? Exclusive says Mississippi. Yeah, okay, this is some crazy person. We're gonna go ahead and delete that person. Yeah, I'm choreographing for a studio here in Mississippi. I'm choreographing a piece with about 40 people and another piece with just 2 people. But at first I thought that I wasn't going to be able to come and do it because of the whole COVID situation, but they were able to get everything opened up down here, and luckily they can make it to where it's only a few people in the room at a time. So it'll be good. It'll only be like a few people in the room at a time. So we'll still be able to maintain social distancing. But I'm sitting here at the Hilton, and Judame says, how's your healing coming along, fam? Well, today actually was the very first day that I've actually done any choreography or moving around or dancing and stuff like that since the accident. And yeah, it was a little difficult. It was a little bit difficult. The compression fractures that I have in my upper back, I've started working out again, luckily, and running and lifting weights. So I had gotten up to around right when I started working out again, I was weighing around 195, which is really heavy for me, which is a little heavy for me, which I usually, as a dancer, I usually hover around 180 to 185 pounds. So I was like 15 pounds heavier than I normally am, but I couldn't really do anything. So I started working out again. So I started doing I started doing 5 miles at the park. I go to Centennial Park almost every day and run, and then I take my resistance bands to the park. So I'll run a mile, then I'll stop and do 50 push-ups, and then do so it's just now getting to a point where I'm able to actually work out. But it was hard to actually jump around today because I'm not used to really jumping like I do when I'm performing. So I would do some movements where I was jumping around, and that wasn't going. And it was supposed to heal in 8 weeks, which is just it's been around 8 weeks. Today it was 8 weeks yesterday. So I thought I would be, okay to go ahead and start, but I'm going to have to just get used to, I guess my body's going to have to get used to doing it while everything is still in the process of healing up. So I didn't get any of the prescriptions filled for the the pain meds or the hydrocodone or the 800, I think it was some 800 milligram aspirins they gave me, but I didn't get any of those prescriptions filled. So I'm just kind of, I'm healing up. I would say I'm about 80 to 90. I think it's just gonna take a while for me to get back to normal. I'm just so active that injury doesn't lend itself to to being active. But everything else is going really good. I'll be here until I think Sunday, or I might just take an extra day and stay Monday if I have to, if it takes longer. If it takes too long for me to get done, I'll probably be here until Monday. But yeah, I think it's fixed. There's something wrong with this new device that I'm using while I'm here, and it's kind of janky. It's a little bit janky. So I'm having to keep switching the inputs and shit. Yeah, I know Dana. I'm sorry. Dana Shaw. Who is Dana Shaw? I don't think I've ever seen. Well, maybe I have. I don't know. I don't. I guess I don't memorize everybody, um, but yeah, how's everybody doing? What's going on? Is everybody being safe out here in the COVID and the riots? There's a lot going on right now, man. There is a lot going on. I almost thought that I wasn't going to be able to come. I had planned, this was planned for several months. And I thought that due to the pandemic, I wasn't even going to be able to come. And I was real upset because this is like a very lucrative trip for me. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in this trip. So I thought I was not going to be able to come. And so luckily it worked out to where I could actually get here. Judain says, all jokes aside, glad that that's progressing and you're back at the craft. Man, I appreciate it, Judain, for real. What's going on, Wendy? Nice to see you on too. I just hopped on to see if any of my friends were out there, because you know it's hotel room just by yourself, and I don't really watch TV, so I thought I would just jump on here and see what was going on. Yeah, this mic, this thing I'm using is not really that dope. I don't really like it. So I'm sorry guys. It might be a little weird, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll hold on. Okay. All right. Can you guys still see me, or am I frozen? Looks like my software is frozen. Looks like my software is frozen. Let's see something here. Hold on. Yeah, I might be frozen. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Yep, I'm frozen. Hold on, guys. Let me see something here. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the video. I don't know why it's frozen. I'm just having all kind of problems today. I'm just having all kinds of problems today. Let's see something. Oh, I see what's going on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Am I back? Am I back? All right. All right. I think I may be back up on this thing. Okay. All right. Is it back going on, guys? Is it back going on? I'm trying to make sure everything is working right. Let's see. I think it's back. to where it needs to be. I think it's back to where it needs to be. I don't know what's going on with this thing, man. I don't know what's going on. It's one of those days where everything is messing up on your boy. But I just thought I would hop on here anyway and just see who was out there tonight, man. What's going on, guys? What is going on? What's going on? How's everybody handling the whole situation with everything? I was hoping there wouldn't be anything crazy going on down here. When I came down here and I drove down here, I thought I might get pulled into some madness. But it seems pretty quiet down here. It seems pretty quiet down here. All right. What's up, MKT Versity? Peace to you as well. Peace to you as well. Peace to everybody. Did anybody go to any of the protests over the last week? What's going on, Self-Care Boss? It's good to see you. Haven't seen you on in a while. Yeah, I wasn't going either. It's just with the whole pandemic thing too, I was a little concerned about everybody being out there without masks on. I wondered how that would whole play out. Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear about your cousin then, MKT. How do you feel about everything that's going on regarding the whole everything that's been going on around it? How do you feel about it? Your fourth cousin, really, man? That's wild. You gotta tell us how that's how you feel about that, man. Talk to us. What's going on? Exclusive says, just living the quarantine life. Our governor is starting to open our state up slowly. I'll be going back to work in a few weeks or so. Okay. Okay. Dana Shaw says, I'm coping mysteriously. Haha. Okay. Well, what's going on, Dana Shaw? Well, how did you come around to the channel? I noticed that you're new. What's going on with you? What have you been up to? How'd you come on to be in the group with all of us? Because we are all friends at this point. We've all gone through a bunch of stuff. Most of us anyway here. How'd you come across the channel? And I'm not going to be doing, getting me to come out here and do this choreo was a big one. If it wouldn't have been so much money, I wouldn't have come. It was just a lot of money. But I'm not going to be doing any Ubering or anything like that. I'm not going to have anybody in my car. You know, that's just too much. But, yeah, I'm not going to be doing any Ubering or anything like that. MKT says, it's just seeing the inequalities displayed in America that affects me the most. Yeah. Wendy Sloan says, fear not. What do you mean, fear not, Wendy Sloan? Dana Shaw says, no protest here. I understand how that can go. Yeah. MKT says, a lot of racism, but I don't want to focus on it. Well, You know, that's a huge conversation. That is a long conversation. I don't even know if we want to even get into that conversation, but it's one that's being had right now, and it's kind of necessary. Wendy Sloan says, I'm back seeing clients, massage and hypnosis. Well, shit, you can help me, Wendy. I need some massage and hypnosis right now. D Hunt says, rep in Mississippi here. Okay, D Hunt. I'm in Madison, Mississippi right now. Madison, Mississippi. I come here pretty much almost every year. It's either every year or sometimes it's every year, then sometimes it's every other year I'll come out to choreograph for this studio. But I haven't been here. I think it's been 2 years since I've been here. So it's cool. It's always a fun time. The kids are really cool. They work really hard. Dana Shaw says, I saw you're living in car video. Okay. Yep. Living in car video was that was that was the life for a while. That was definitely the life for a while. But Mississippi seems cool. I went to a hookah spot a little bit earlier. But the hookah spot was kind of whack, so I didn't stay in there. So I just kind of walked in and I sat down for a few minutes, had a Coke, and then just bounced right back out. I wasn't trying to stay in that joint. He says, I'm further north in the Delta. Okay, now I don't know a lot about Mississippi at all, so I don't know where that is, but it's good to know you were repping the M-Town, Mississippi. Yeah, I didn't really want a lot, guys. I'm just out here seeing who was on and who was going on. What's going on? Dana Shaw says, I got some tips from you about living in your car, and when I get that strong signal from Lowe's, I subscribe. Man, Lowe's got that signal, man. There was plenty of nights that I sat out there and I had perfect Wi-Fi. I watched so much YouTube videos, so many movies. Man, it was some good times out in that parking lot. But what's funny is, in the beginning it was difficult, but after a while it became real. It was nothing. It wasn't a concern at all. Like, it was just it was just like an everyday thing. Exclusive said, Fitz, you're looking good. Glad to see you bounce back from that unfortunate accident. Thank you, Exclusive. I'm trying to be somebody. I went and I said, I'm gonna treat myself to so I usually twist my own locks, but over the last couple of years, if anybody that has locks know, sometimes your locks break off, you lose some, they fall off. So over the last few years, I think I've lost about 20 locks. So I've been twisting them, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to my girl's sister I go to, named Celesta. Beautiful sister. And she's been the only person that's ever really twisted my locks, really, like on a regular basis. So I hit her up, but she never gotten back to me. So I didn't know if maybe she had, she was just busy, or she just wasn't doing anything because of the pandemic or whatever. So my over the last what it's been, I think 3 weeks. I dropped from 195 to 180. 180. I'm right around 182 right now. So just let me know if it starts doing it again, because I don't know what's up with this little device. It's kind of janky. I'm gonna have to do some things with it, I guess. But and then just getting out and being in the sun all the time, man, it just makes you feel so good, man. I'm so excited to be able to get out and actually start running again and walking and working out. But I went online and got a copy of the police report and everything, and it's not that, it's this new thing I'm using. So I don't think the police are even looking into it. I have my own suspicions about what happened, and maybe I have to think about whether or not I actually want to do a story time about that. I really want to, but I kind of don't, because I don't want to seem petty. So I have some real suspicions about that day and what happened and what may have really been behind that whole situation with the car running me over. Wendy says, give us a story. I don't want to do that. That's gonna be, I'll be on here too. If I start that story, I'm gonna be on here all night. And I promise you guys I'll do it one day. I need to get all the info before I make this story. What's going on, Miss Bailey too? Good to see you in here. But yeah, one day I may tell that story. Me and my aunt have been talking a lot about it, and just trying to figure things out. But I don't think the police have actually looked into it very much. And there's a few, looking at the police report, there are a few discrepancies in some stories, but I don't really know, what really is going on with it. So I just always thought it was just kind of weird the way it happened. So I don't really know. And then all my friends said, Keith, somebody tried to kill you. You know that, right? And I said, for real? You serious? You think that? And literally all my guy friends said, somebody was trying to kill you, right? Don't it seem kind of weird that you just were the only one that got hit? Really? Doesn't that make you feel a little weird? Somebody was trying to kill you. And I was thinking, maybe it was just one of those things that happened. I guess anything can happen on any given day to anyone. But for somebody that like me that has been walking, I mean, there was times I just walked around for years, just like I was walking. And to just get hit like that, I was like, man, something is going on, which is really why I told the story, or really why I made the episode where I was talking about how it made me look differently at life, because it did feel so weird. It did feel like it was something that I needed to take notice of. And I got a very, very interesting comment on that video from a YouTuber. And it was really weird. It was really, really weird, because for a long time after that, I really I didn't understand why that happened. I didn't know what I was supposed to get from that happening. And I really took the time after that happened. I didn't really talk to anybody about it, but normally every day when I go and shower, And it's something that I've been doing for, over a year. When I'm in the shower, I always, I always talk about the things that I'm grateful for, you know? So, even during that time, um, I would be in the shower, me and my ex and I were still together, and I would be in the shower and I would always just talk about all the things that I was grateful for, and gratitude, like a gratitude journal every day, regardless. Just every day, that was my routine. I'm thankful for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for this. Because I just never want to be I never want to sink back into being a person that was upset about a lot of things or sad about a lot of things, because even though I'm a pretty strong person, there are times when things do get to you, as we talk about on this channel, um, no, I don't think she did. I was walking with her. It could have been her had I not moved her off of the edge of the street. She was on the edge of the street when we first started walking, and I moved her to the inside of the street so that I was on the outside of the street. So no, she was with me. But it just really made me start to think about, why did this happen? Why did that happen? And if there was something that was in my life that I needed to change, if there was something that I was doing or thinking, because a lot of times people say things that happen to you don't just happen. You attract things into your life. And I know people just have accidents sometimes, but that was just it was just such a weird situation. And for all the people closest to me to just automatically come to the same conclusion, it really made me think, because I never really thought about it like that. I thought, something weird just happened, and not having any memory of it, I think made it really kind of, there's a lot of times that I wish I could just remember what happened, because just waking up like that and not having any real memories apart from what I was told happened. It was just a really weird situation. It was nothing like that had ever happened to me before, and just to wake up in a hospital and you don't know what's going on, it was just really weird. It was a really weird situation, but I have a lot of thoughts about it. But I still need to sort them all out before I go and start really going into that story, because that is going to be a story. What's up, Nelson? He says, what up, people? I'm late to the party. Now you always on time. Always on time. Winnie Sloan says, lesson to pay attention. To pay attention. You got paranoid friends. No, my friends ain't paranoid. My friends are good people, man. My dudes are my dudes. I love them. We always have each other's best interests at heart, man. So those are my dudes. I love them a lot. But I really think at the heart of it all was just, what was the point? What was I supposed to get from that? What are we supposed to get from any of the crazy things that happen to us, or the crazy situations that we allow ourselves to get into, or the things that we do that we when we see evidence of things and we just go anyway, and then when something happens, then we're like, oh, why did I do that? It's just so many things that I could draw from that story, but I'm really trying to sort it all out before I go there, because in my mind, I've just gone a whole lot of places, thinking about that whole incident. A lot of places. Miss Bass too says, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm good now. I'm better. I'm almost all the way healed up. It's gonna take me a few weeks to get all the way, but I'm like I said, I'm about 80 to 90%. What's going on with you, Miss Bailey too? Now Miss Bailey too, are you the one that got married? Did you get married, or is that your sister that got married? I know one of y'all got married, right? Exclusive said, "Trust your intuition. It's always right." Dana Shaw, stop trying to figure stuff out. Dana Shaw, stop trying to figure stuff out, man. Why? What are you are you a PI? You a PI, Dana Shaw? What you talking about? What you talking about, Dana Shaw? Okay. Miss Bailey too said, "It's me." How's everything going with you two? I'm surprised you are not in what is it? In flagrante delicto? um Dana Shaw said your ex. That's funny. Um Whitney Sloan said, "I feel we only got half the story." Yeah, you haven't even gotten half the story, but um Whitney Sloan says, "Sounds like you intuitively saved your friend." Um oh man, Nelson, thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Um he says, "What part of Mississippi you in?" "I got family in Moss Point." I'm in Madison, Mississippi right now. Madison, Mississippi. No, Wendy, it's just I just think anytime a man is walking with a woman, the man should be on the outside of the street and the woman should be on the inside of the street, just in case a car comes by or something like that, so the woman doesn't get killed. So that was just what that was. It doesn't matter what woman I'm walking. If I'm walking with a woman and she's on the outside, I always move her on the inside. I think that's just manners. Miss Bear 2 said, "Need to relocate." Yeah, you need to relocate if your husband's in a whole nother country. What's up, Great Dane? How are you doing? How are you doing, Great Dane? It is good to see you. So what's going on in the whole? I'm not gonna be on here tonight. I have to get up super early in the morning and start editing music. But I just missed y'all, man. I'm trying to. Miss Baylor 2 says, "My husband says the same thing and will make me switch places." um. So what's going? The simulation. How you feel about the world ending, dog? How you feel about the world ending? The simulation, do you think the world is ending right now? Is that what you draw from everything that's happening? You think the world is coming to an end right now? I mean, because it may be, but theoretically there have been worse pandemics than this one. But I'm still interested in hearing your take on it. Do you think this is the end of the world? I've heard that before. I've not heard anyone really explain fully what they mean by that when they say that they think it's the end of the world. And to all the XJs in here, what's going on in the whole XJW community? Miss Bailey 2 says, "Was your city on lockdown?" Yeah, for 3 days. Not lockdown. They had curfews, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock curfews for 3 days. Skeptical Mantis says, "I think human extinction is possible in the next few decades due to climate change and or World War III." That is interesting. Miss Bailey says, "I think everything going on right now is planned." Miss Bailey, I agree with that. I think this is all part of a plan, because it seems, my aunt and I were talking about this last night too. It just seems like too many coincidences happening at the same time. It's like, pick a struggle. 2020 needs to either pick a struggle, or 2020 has already picked its struggles, because there's a lot of struggles going on right now all at the same time. And it seems like each one has a tie to the other. They don't just seem like random struggles. It's like one struggle will add to or contribute to the next struggle, and that struggle contributes to the next struggle, and that struggle contributes to the next struggle. It seems very planned. I realize that things, coincidences happen, quote unquote. Where's the camera? Coincidences happen, but sometimes there are no coincidences. Sometimes there are just plans that you don't know about. Skeptical Mantis says we have more nukes and weaponry around the world than ever before. But it can also be argued, Skeptical Mantis, that the fact that there are so many nukes and weaponry is also a deterrent to them being used. What do you think about that? Because if everybody, it's just like, if everybody knew everybody had a gun, they would be probably not so quick to pull a gun on somebody because we know everybody has one. Well, maybe the fact that everybody has nukes, it's not like you're going to be able to secretly launch one. I mean, if somebody sees a nuke coming, it's like, all right, well, we're going, but we're going to go, we're going to go ahead and go too. We're going to go ahead and make sure your city is blown up too. So, what do you think about that? We've gone to a whole conspiracy show. Whole conspiracy show. The simulation, what do you explain what you were saying too? What do you think? You think the world is ending, dog? That's what you said, the world, how you feel about the world ending, dog. Wendy Sloan said Fort Lauderdale had 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for 3 days. Yeah, that's basically what we had. We had 10 and 8 and 8 until 6 a.m. Skeptical Mantis says it is true that mutually assured destruction discourages use of nukes. You are correct, K-Fist. But if one single country decides to use it, what would happen? Skeptical Mantis says destructive wars can be waged without nukes too. That is a good point. Miss Bailey says people will continue to riot with 41 million plus unemployed. Summer of riots and looting. That is true. Dana Shaw says it's not ending, it's a new beginning. I won't talk that too much. No, you can't say something like that and not elaborate. Do we need to get the phones involved tonight? Do we need to get the phone calls popping? Guys, do we need to get the phone calls popping? It looks like people have a lot to say tonight. Do we need to get the phone calls popping? Do I need to go ahead and pull the phone line up? Because it looks like we got a lot to talk about tonight. And you know me, I am with the conversation. Let's get the conversation popping. Let's get the conversation popping. If I need to open up the phone lines, we can go ahead and do this thing. Because I'm sure everybody has some great points to make. Look at y'all. Oh shit, it's a whole 16 people watching. Boy, I'm blowing up. Miss Bailey says, I will only text people at home or sleeping. Okay. Gotcha. Well, go ahead and text then. Go ahead and put it out there. Let's get it popping. What you guys think? Now, Skeptical Mantis, you made a good point. That's a good question. But if one single country decides to use it, what would happen? That's a very good question. So what would happen? What do we think would happen? Even if one country were to do something like that, um wouldn't that I mean, but would they be able to do it without it being known that they were the one that did it? Would they be able to do it in such a secret form that no one would know where it came from or who decided to do it? Is that possible? Miss Bailey 2 said, I had a weird experience too yesterday. Okay, what happened to you, Miss Bailey 2? Wendy Seeley, what's going on, Wendy Seeley? Good to see you. She says, I agree with Dana. A new age is on the horizon. Now, I've heard a lot of talk about that there will be a lot more people awakening around the world in the coming years, that there is a huge, I guess awakening is the word to use, or a consciousness shift is on the horizon. What it seems like Wendy and Dana have something about this in mind. What do you guys think about that? Dana says, plans always create the undiscovered no human being is aware of. Wendy Sloan says, do we want to restore the republic or write something new? Man, back during World War I, the slogan was socialism or barbarism. I think it's true now more than ever. That is true. I'm enjoying this. I was not expecting this conversation. I thought I'd just pop on here and say hi. And now we having a great conversation. I had to get my black ass up at 6 in the morning. Great Dane says, I agree that tearing down the powers that be can cause a radical shift for the benefit of the common man. I agree with that too, Great Dane. I mean, after all, it is a constitutional right to be able to do something like that, but how many people have actually taken it upon themselves to exercise that right? By and large, I would say this is probably one of the first times, or one of the few times, that something like this has happened on such a scale. Whether the effects of it will be lasting or temporary is the question. Miss Bailey 2 says, I visited my part-time job and nothing barely worked. The building had been closed for almost 3 months. I started cleaning up, and when I left, I noticed a car in the parking lot. Uh-oh. Miss Bailey, was those XJWs following you again? Skeptical Mantis says, or Dana Shaw says, new beginning for some of us. Okay. Skeptical Mantis says, the government gave trillions of dollars to banks and big businesses, but only crumbs for the people. We are losing a lot of work from this pandemic. How many people will be evicted in a few months? That's a great point, because I don't know why people think that rent is no longer due. That shit is still going to be due. Retroactively, probably, too. Oh, I was right. Miss Bag 2 said, I was sitting in my car and noticed. Did they shut me down? Okay, no. Hold on, guys. Is my... Okay, I think everything is still... Okay. We are losing... let's start over. Skeptical Mantis says, The government gave trillions of dollars to banks and big businesses, but only crumbs for the people. We are losing a lot of work from this pandemic. How many people will be evicted in a few months? Yes. Miss Bailey 2 says, I was sitting in my car and noticed a ministerial servant sitting in the parking lot wearing dark sunglasses with the windows rolled down. Man, see, I knew it. Because you said that before, a long time ago. You said that they were following you around. Wendy Sloan says, what structures would we use to replace the old? Which structures are you talking about? It was almost 90 degrees outside. The building is closed to the public and locked. So you better tell your husband to hurry up and get his ass back to the country. Great Dane. Okay, we're reconnected. I'm reconnected. It should be okay. So let me know if everything is back. Maybe everybody's already. Okay. Miss Bailey 2 says your video is spinning. The brother is a married man with a child. Okay, well, your husband's still here to knock him in his ass for following you around, right? Miss Bailey 2 says, I think he's being paid to stalk. I am married, so what's up with the creepy behavior? JWs don't, some of them elders don't care nothing about you being married. Yeah, it's late, it's porn time. My feed is slowing down, or either YouTube is listening to my conversation and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna be talking about this. Let's see if my bit rate goes back up. It should be good though. Dana Shaw says, not too many are working, left room for us to think. Like Rihanna said, tell your non-black friends to pull up. Very powerful words prior to riot. Yeah, well, I have my own views on that topic, but I don't think I want to talk about them. Yeah, well, you know, that's great. Dana says COVID gave humans the opportunity to start a war. Yeah, that's true. But if it was created in the lab, then humans gave humans the opportunity to start a war. And that might be the issue, right? That might be the issue. Yeah, man, it's my stream is, hold on, well, hopefully it'll stay up. If my stream stops, guys, then I'm probably we'll just pop off here. Hopefully it will last for a while. Wendy Seeley says, seems like the entire world is protesting. It's a powerful force that no one can prevent. This will prove to be very effective. The age of Aquarius is here, a time to heal and love abundantly. Well, I hope so. Let me get my plug. I think my laptop needs some juice too. All right. Sorry, I'm not used to being in a hotel. It's been a long time since I've been in a hotel. Oh no, all my stuff is like, where's my stuff? It's supposed to be in a bag. Had all my stuff in, bags for a really long time for the most part. Okay, Great Dane says audio and video better now. Okay. So, Wendy, what do you believe the significance of the age of Aquarius is? Dana Shaw says, yes, the poor stay poor and the rich stay rich. Do you guys think that this whole thing could be a way for a lot of people to restart themselves monetarily, or to get to a point where if this money that people are being given is used in the right way, that a lot of people will be able to do some things that they would otherwise maybe not have been able to do? Wendy Sloan says the Rockefeller Gates cabal want to control us through tracking. The corruption of the WHO has been exposed. Well, that may very well may be. But I mean, really? All of us have pretty much agreed to being tracked, because all of us have cell phones, so there's really no point or any need right now for them to implant chips in people and things like that people talk about so much, because we can be tracked very easily by our cell phones. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we all are being tracked, but I'm pretty sure that we all agree to it in our iTunes at some point. Somewhere in iTunes it says you agreed to be tracked, and then none of us want to read through them 12 pages of terms of agreement, and we all have agreed to being tracked. So they may want to do it, but have we all inadvertently agreed to it, which is why it's happening? Dana Shaw says poor Wi-Fi in hotel. Well, I'm staying at the damn Hilton. It seemed like Paris should, get the damn Wi-Fi up in this joint. I need to go find Paris and tell her to quit walking around showing everybody her booty and shit, and step up the damn Wi-Fi. Can you cover your booty up, your little flat booty? Can you cover it up and then fix the Wi-Fi? Shit, Paris. It's the damn Hilton. Wendy Sloan says this also changes the narrative of the crimes of the last administration spying. Okay. Miss Bailey 2 says, Wendy, did you see the YouTube film Fall of the Cabal? It was good. I've never heard of that. Jasmine, what's going on? What's going on? Shalom from Kansas. All right. What's going on, Jasmine? Jazzy me. Good to see you in here. Miss Bailey 2 says all websites force you to accept the cookies. Wendy Sloan says, but the tracking can limit your ability to travel, get a job, etc. Okay. How does the tracking limit your ability to travel and get a job, Wendy? Explain that. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Jasmine says, you in Mississippi? How'd you know? How'd you know I was in Mississippi, Jasmine? You just signed on. You've been sitting here listening and just popped on. What you doing? You spying on me? um, Dana Shaw says that money is a political thing. We would have been better off still working. It's basically welfare for some. Kawhi says the U.S. will take decades for its citizens to recover. Corporations are already bragging about slashing salaries. Wendy says the cabal cannot win. Their plans have been thwarted by this movement. We will be just fine. Do you think this movement is actually thwarting something on a large scale? And if so, Wendy, how do you think that will happen, and how will it be sustained over the long term? Jazzy Me says, I know everything. Do you really? What else do you know, Jazzy Me? Since you know everything, tell me something that would be applicable to me that I would understand how much you know. Miss Bailey too says, not taking the vaccine, the globalists want immunity passports. Jazzy Me said, had any good soul food lately? Nope. Dana Shaw says, Paris is tired now. No more booty flashing. She's taking naps. That's funny. No good soul food lately. Um, I'm not big on taking a lot of medications either. Um, that whole vaccination thing is really a little scary to me. I fixed the sound. It's a little that whole. um, Jazzy Me says, still don't know who I am. No. Miss Bailey too says, not thwarted, just interrupted. A lot of politicians and Hollywood elite were exposed online. The riots were staged and funded by Soros, who funds Black Lives Matter. He literally pays people to be violent and protest. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. So, what people is there? Is there a group of people that are being paid specifically more so than others to be violent and protesting? Jasmine, are you Todd's mom? You talking about when we went to Sweats. Oh snap. Jasmine, you Todd's mom. You my boy Todd's mom, huh? Okay. I thought that, but I didn't want to say that and then it not be you. I was just talking to Todd. I went over his house the day before yesterday and we were just talking about you. Um yeah. Yeah, yeah. When me, you, and Todd went to Sweats and had some soul food, that junk was good. That junk was good, man. It's been a while. I haven't gone back. I haven't been to Sweats since me, you, and Todd went to Sweats. Right, right. How you doing? It is good. It is good to hear from you. Yeah, we were just talking about you, man. We were just talking about you. I need to call Todd. He called me, but I've been trying to get ready for this trip, so I haven't had a chance to hit him back yet. But I'll hit him up. Probably either well, probably won't be tomorrow because I'm gonna be working all day tomorrow and all day Sunday. I'll probably just give him a call when I get back to Nashville, Sunday or Monday. Um, Self Care Boss says Nashville staple. Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Sweats is the business. If you haven't been to Sweats, you need to take your ass to Sweats. Miss Bailey says they have paid crisis actors and protesters. Of course. Crisis actors have been paid for a long time. And I don't know why people are so against believing that, but it is true. Miss Bailey too says a lot of people are now into natural healing and healthy eating, trying to get my act together. He will pay anyone, not sure what the criteria is. Also, people get paid to be crisis actors. Skeptical Mantis says people are protesting because we're poor and angry about the police. The idea that people are getting paid is a conspiracy theory. Now, Skeptical Mantis, that's a very interesting statement. It's a very interesting statement. Are you saying, or do you think that now we've seen thousands of people protesting across the country? Do you think the vast majority, and there have been a lot of people who I was surprised to see protesting. Are you saying that you think that a lot of those people are poor? Survivorship says, what is a crisis actor? Crisis actors are people who are paid to dispense misinformation in the event of a horrific occurrence. Like, people talk about like 9/11 or the school shooting that happened a long time ago. Any huge catastrophe where there could be a interruption between the flow of truth and misinformation. Crisis actors are used to, I guess, promote the flow of misinformation over true information, or to deflect from the truth that is being dispensed by the media. Miss Bailey too says, not a conspiracy theory. Multiple people on YouTube filmed the police and agitators doing things to make black people look bad. Someone I chat with has the job offer to take part in the riot. Now, see, Miss Bailey, too, that goes to the question I was asking about whether all those people were actually poor. Skeptical Mantis says most Americans couldn't afford a $500 emergency, according to Forbes magazine in 2016. I think it's accurate to say that most of us are poor. Okay, that is a valid point, Skeptical Mantis. But if it was such, if the people were so destitute that it makes that much of an issue, and the quote that you just gave was from 4 years ago, why are they waiting until just now to do what they're doing? If they were just as poor 4 years ago as they are 4 years later, what was okay? Actually, you know what? Survivorship. If you just go on Google and you can look at a lot of video that show crisis actors. Hello. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. See. The issue. Hold on. We're talking about so much stuff, and it's so true. Um. um. Wendy, what you're talking about, the pallets of bricks dropped in the streets, my aunt was talking about that last night. There were pallets of bricks just left in the street for people to just use these bricks. I mean, where did that come from? Where did those bricks come from, and why? Um, Yeah, and like Miss Bailey says, no, everyone wasn't poor. The news reported a group of people pulled up in nice vehicles, jumped out, high level power tools, and started looting. See, that's not poor. Miss Bailey says, I think you're being censored. It buzzes or there's a noise, then it drops. Yeah, maybe I'm being jammed. Oh man, that's an honor. I'm being jammed. Somebody thinks we're having a conversation worthy of being jammed. That's a compliment. I appreciate that. Skeptical Mantis says COINTELPRO targeted the civil rights movement. Everybody from MLK to the Black Panthers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jazzy says they brought the bricks in coolers. It was reported. Yes. The bricks were placed in. Okay. See, they gonna make me mess around and stay on here all night. They keep censoring me. That's all right. Let's see. The U.S. government, Skeptical Mantis says. Well, hold on. Let's go back to what Wendy Sloan said. One lady filmed giving a black lady, I'm sorry, one lady filmed giving a brick back to a car that was handing them out to black men. Okay, so they're trying to target black men. I asked if there was a specific race of people that was being targeted for these things. Yeah, I know they're censoring me. I've seen other YouTubers get censored for talking about things like this, but let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. Let's just see what happens. If I wake up dead in the morning, y'all know what happened. If I go to sleep and wake up dead, I'm gonna be mad as hell. I'm gonna haunt the hell out of YouTube headquarters. Great Dane says Floyd got murdered on camera in real time, and people have the time and frustration to participate. You needn't be poor to feel for the poor, or black to feel for a man being lynched by a knee. I want to read that again. Great Dane, I'm going to read that again. Floyd got murdered on camera in real time, and people have the time and frustration to participate. You needn't be poor to feel for the poor, or black to feel for a man being lynched by a knee. Now, that is a greatly worded paragraph, Great Dane. It really is. But see, here's my question, Great Dane, and anyone else watching this show. This is what gives me a bit of pause. See, George Floyd wasn't the first black man to be murdered on camera in real time. It happens all the time. My aunt and I were talking about it the other night. You know, the woman who was shot through the window. There's been several instances of us being, I mean, hell, all the way back. We can talk about all these instances that were of black people being murdered by white policemen. This is not the first time. This is the only difference, as you stated, is people have maybe more time and a little bit more. There may be a little bit more frustration on the parts of people who would normally not be as frustrated. But other of us, aka black people, have been this frustrated for several hundred years. So it's not the issue that I have is that while I appreciate the fact that white people are frustrated, why are they frustrated? What is it that's happening right now that's making white people so frustrated? And as you said, Great Dane, it's just now that they have the time and the frustration to participate. So are they truly participating because of the black man that was killed, or are they frustrated because of COVID-19 and using it as an excuse to jump into what is going on right now? That is my question, which is what gives me pause about so many white people being in the protest. And also a lot of white people are making black people look like they are actually doing more than they're doing. I'm not saying black people aren't, but there are a whole lot of white people that are starting things and making it look like it's black people. So there's where my issue lies. Is the frustration because of the black man that got killed? So they're saying that, are you saying that this black man that got killed made all these white people so frustrated that they just had to come out and protest all across the country when he's not. This is not the first time it's happened. It's happened so many times. It's been happening since we were brought here. So what is the catalyst for that frustration is my question. Whitney Sloan says, was it racism or just police brutality? Supposedly they knew each other and worked at a nightclub doing security. I don't think we have the whole story. Okay. Self-Care Ball says people are out protesting for numerous reasons: the virus, unemployment, Trump, etc. Jazzy says they are bored at home, no job. Self-Care Boss says the frustration builds. Skeptical Mantis says at Wendy Sloan it is much bigger than this one case. It's a lot of stuff happening at once. Okay. Jazzy says the Most High has shut down their way of life and they don't know what's going on. Oh, it's so much. All right, let's do it. Let's have the conversation. Dana Shaw says, I think that cop caught Floyd. He had been drinking in a vulnerable state. Rumors had it that he was mourning his mom's death. She died 2 years ago, and sadly on the same way he did. Wendy Sloan says, and the evil rats triggered these events. Miss Bailey 2 says, I agree, Wendy. Too many holes in the story. Saw the video from multiple angles. The murder was planned, but I don't know why. Okay, I'm back. Skeptical Mantis says, yes, it's not one or the other. The whole country is messed up and people have a lot of good reasons to be angry. Self-Care Boss says, white people are also upset they've lost jobs, properties, trust in the American system. Jazzy says things are shifting. Great Dane says, would you rather white people go home and stay silent? Whites walk with MLK and bailed him out of jail many times. Yeah, but they also were the ones beating and killing people and causing him to go to jail, and they were actually, the ones that this is something that's really, I think, is difficult. It's a difficult conversation, but it's one that needs to be had. It's difficult, I think, for people to be able to vocalize how it feels to be a black person who has been discriminated against by white people, and then see white people who take a protest about a black person, but they may have but they're hiding under the facade of the protest that's about a black man being killed to voice their frustrations about something other than the black man being killed, which shits on the protest about the black man being killed. That is an issue as well. If people have many reasons to be upset, then there should be separate protests by those people that address the very thing that they are upset about, instead of um, co-opting another protest for their ulterior motives. That's that's fucked up. Um, wow. This is amazing. They're actually able to go in and do that. This is crazy. I've never had anything like this happen before. Okay, so him and that cop worked at a nightclub together. That's something to think about. Maybe that cop was envious of the fact that Floyd was able to get a woman and women of other races. White people know their time is up and they're becoming very defensive. The mask is coming off of them. Okay. Miss Bailey too says MLK was a plant and part of a secret society. When he finally woke up and spoke out, that's when he was shot. Skeptical Mantis says we're protesting an entire system. I don't think people are co-opting anything. Any large group of people will have people with different motives and mixed motives. Okay, but Skeptical Mantis, you just said we're protesting an entire system. There hasn't been one protest that's been in the name of an entire system. The protests are in the name of Floyd, of the man who was murdered. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're saying exactly what I'm saying, Skeptical Mantis. If you're saying we're protesting an entire system, then why are you protesting an entire system during the protests that are about Floyd? That's co-opting. Why isn't there a protest that specifically says we're protesting the entire system and they're holding up signs that says we're protesting the entire system? Right? That is co-opting. That's exactly what co-opting is. What you just said is exactly what co-opting is, in my opinion. Miss Bailey too says, yes, you were buzzed when you said those words. Miss Bailey says, yeah, don't know why they're bothering you, just discussing what we all see on our news. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? What, 16 of us? Skeptical Mantis says, Black Lives Matter is protesting an entire system of white supremacy, right? Right. But protesting an entire system of white supremacy is the purpose of Black Lives Matter. If you're going to protest an entire system, when you say the entire system, what exactly do you mean? Because the things that you brought up were more economic than racial. The things that you brought up earlier were about being poor. And so the system that you were talking about maybe seemed like you were talking about more of an economic system, right? Many people are saying that though. They're listing many names, not just Floyd. It's the prison system and the police state that we're against. Okay. If it's the prison system and the police system that you're against, why was your first, and I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, Skeptical, I'm really just asking, why was your first point that you made about people being poor and frustrated? So that was why I gravitated toward you thinking, or your thinking was more about economics than race. Had you, led and said that it was about, things other than monetary things, that would have led me to believe something else. Now, I said we're poor and we're angry about the racist police state. Okay. Okay. Okay, but Miss Bailey says I think he means systematic racism, which leads to poverty. Okay, if that's what he means, and I don't know if is that what you mean, Skeptical Mantis? Are you saying that systematic racism is what leads to poverty, and you're upset about it? Because if that's the case, then systematic racism doesn't affect white people the way it affects black people, and that's just a fact. We can't we don't I don't think we need to debate that fact at all. Systematic racism can't affect white people the way it affects the black people. Skeptical Man says poverty of black and brown communities is a major part of white supremacy. You don't have to orange me, Skeptical. I see you. It's cool. Poverty of black and brown communities is a major part of white supremacy. Fact. That is a fact. The racist police state is designed to keep us poor. Okay. Totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. This is a great conversation, guys. It really is. Great conversation. I had no idea that we were going to be having this conversation today. What time is it? 11:38. Man, I gotta get up. I need to get off of here, man. Skeptical Man says I'm Latino. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. But see, Skeptical Mantis, at the end of the day, you know, systematic racism doesn't affect Latino people the same way it affects black people. I mean, George Zimmerman got off for killing a black dude. I mean, I know we're all systematic racism still looks at us differently than every other race. You know, I don't know if that's a thing that's politically correct, but I still believe that. I don't think that any race is affected by systematic racism the way black people are. I just really in my heart, I just don't think any race is affected by it the way we are. And a lot of times when people say things like black and brown people, I think it goes to take away from the effects of things that actually happen exclusively to black people. Winnie Sloan says, let's talk about victim mentality. What's the least that needs to be done to make it right? Reparation. Great Dane says it's a fascist president that's scaring the nation, including white folks. I believe that's why more white folks are getting involved. Okay. Skeptical says, have y'all listened to Malcolm X ballot or the bullet speech? I would like to hear K-Fit's thoughts on that. He dropped a lot of knowledge. He also says, no, it doesn't affect us the same way. It's different. Apples and oranges. We have the same enemy. I think you're right, K-Fits. Dana says, it's definitely us blacks that are the targets. Wendy Sloan says, you need to watch them Trayvon Martin hoax movie or read the book. Another race setup. Self-Care Boss says, yeah, which laws were specifically written against Hispanics? I don't know any. See, that's the thing, Self-Care Boss. You're exactly right, and that's what I'm talking about. There are things that were done that were done and are done specifically to us. I mean, hell, Obama never did anything exclusively for black people, but he was able to do things exclusively for, people of other races. You know, um, Wendy Steele says, "Where I am, the time is 12:40. I am going to bed. Now I need to go too." Skeptical Man says, "Bro, look at Latin America though. In many countries, the poverty is worse than Black Americans. USA has invaded many of our countries and supported brutal dictators and drug wars." Okay, that very well may be the case, Skeptical Mantis, but I would dare to ask, what is the equivalent that black people that okay, Hispanics have Latin America. What is the equivalent of that black people have? Hispanics have Latin America. What is the equivalent of Latin America that black people have? What is that equivalent? Dana Shaw says, "Yes, I agree about Obama." All right. Okay. So okay. Um, Self Care says blacks are part of America but still don't have full rights. Facts. Skeptical says it's just a different form of oppression, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be more oppressed than black people. I want black people to get reparations and black power. Wendy Sloan says problem, reaction, solution. Obama wants mayors to sign the pledge. Okay. Great Dan says, "I'm only going to be here for a minute. Is K Fit speak for sit back and grab a drink? We're going to be here for a while." Dennis Shaw says, "Our issues are incomparable to any other races." And that's just a fact. That is just a fact. Skeptical Amanda says, "The equivalent would be Republic of New Africa concept." I don't know if you heard of it. The operative word being concept. Skeptical Mantis also says, "Majority of black Americans still live in the South or have family connections to the South. Some black nationalists see it as a homeland, a potential independent nation." But you're using words like concept and potential. You don't use those words when you speak of Latin America. You don't have to speak of a concept of Latin America or a potential Latin America. But when you talk about things in regards to black people, you have to use the word concept or the word potential. That's the issue. Dana Shaw says, "It was never intended for blacks to have rights in this country." That is true. Okay. It's just a very weird time right now, man. It's just a very weird time, and I'm really enjoying the conversation. I'm not. Skeptical says a country is merely a concept, but we're not all living in a concept right now. A concept is not what's killing people. It's the established laws and agreed upon mandates and agreed upon laws that this country formed in order for this country to, in fact, be a United States. We're not battling against the concept, we're battling against a creation, a structure, a system. So you can't use the word concept when you talk about America, because America is not a concept. A concept is something that hasn't been produced yet. You see a concept car, there may be one, but they don't even have all the kinks worked out. It's not in production. There's not more of them. It's just an example. America has been in existence since what, 1776? So it's not a concept. It's real. It's here. America is here as hell. Man, we are going to end up having an all-night conversation. This is great. I love it. Okay. Man, we are having such a great conversation. I really hate to have to get off of here. um, Man, so many good comments, guys. I am really enjoying this conversation. It's really good. It's really good. Dana says things backfired when we got freedom. That's why whites created gun laws. Okay. Ms. Bayer 2 says Mexicans are harassed too. Their land was stolen in 1848 during the Mexican-American War. Mexico used to own CA, AZ, and Texas and other areas that are now part of the U.S. I mean, that sounds, I agree that it happened, but I mean, damn, at least they had a chance to fight for their land. We just got stolen and enslaved. We didn't even have a chance to fight for nothing. And I think, deep down, you have to think about the fact that if you go to war with somebody, how much more respect do you have for a country that you actually go to war against, as opposed to a country that you're able to just go and steal people? Would you it's just like two fighters. I'm not saying this is what happened, but if you fight somebody, if you get into a fight and that person just whoops your ass, that person's going to have no respect for you. If you at least put up a good fight and lose, they might have a little respect for you. You're still going to be subservient, but they're going to have a little bit more respect for you. We just got fucking kidnapped. But we're still brothers, and I agree with what you're saying. We're brothers, but there's a separate fight there. I think there's still a separate battle there. Ms. Bailey 2 says copper-colored people are indigenous to this land, which is true. Our lands were stolen, which is true. Identity stolen, which is true. Brainwashed to say that we from Africa. That is okay. I keep getting knocked off. Sorry, guys. Yes, I think we're having a great conversation, skeptical and self-care. I think we're having a great conversation. It's hard to really get our points across over text which is always going to be an issue. But the conversation itself is really, really good. A lot of great points being brought up, and everyone is being able to. I appreciate the fact that nobody's getting crazy in the chat, and we're just able to voice our opinions. The crux of this conversation, though, is why so many white people are at the riots. I think that was the point of it all. But in so having that. Okay, I'm back. So maybe, you know what, guys, I would really like to have a topic solely about this, and see if we can have a conversation maybe next week when more people are here. But this is a great conversation. Maybe we can have a show where we can call in and really be able to talk, or even maybe have some of you guys on a hangout and we can really just talk about this, regardless of how people feel about what's happening. What's happening is happening, and it needs to be addressed. And I think conversations like this, where many different races of people are able to talk and not, take some huge level of offense against what people feel, because, in this time when people are so about being quote unquote PC, people don't express their feelings in PC all the time. Your feelings are what they are, and I guess it's just a matter of being able to just, at the end of it, yeah, we may have some ideas in this conversation that aren't PC, but the fact that we're able to vocalize it in a way where we're not offending each other, and we're not, saying crazy stuff to each other or yelling at each other in all caps, and doing all this craziness over the chat. That's what a conversation needs to be about. That's how you get to the core of issues. You don't get to the core of issues by being rude to each other and talking crazy to each other. And I think this conversation, in light of everything that we've discussed in this conversation, for it to go the way it has, is just great. It's fucking great, man. And I would really like to have another show. I don't know how I'll figure out how to make it work where it doesn't end up getting buzzed so much. Even if it's something that I have to give everyone a link to, and then we make it private and like where it's only, invite only or something like that, and we can talk and not have to worry about anybody being silenced, which I think would be a great idea. I would like to do that, but I have to go to bed because I have to get up super early in the morning. So and I'm gonna be jumping around probably about from 8 to 6. Yeah, I may try to do it with I may try that. Miss Bayer 2 says, hold on, Wendy is right about what she's telling you. The average white person felt the damages of the pandemic. They are fearful of the future too. The racial issues are staged to create anger and fear. Yeah, I get that. I do. Well, you know what? We're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna address that. We're gonna have a whole other show, and we're gonna talk about this thing, guys. We are going to talk about this thing, guys. Schedule says, okay, get some rest so you can feel good at work tomorrow. Man, I'm just gonna be dancing for damn 10-12 hours. I'll be all right. With my sore ass, I'll be fine. Skeptical, I really appreciate everything that you said. Everybody, Dana, Wendy, Great Dane, Great Dane and I always have some great conversations on this thing. Skeptical, you had some. Yeah, I agree. Great Dane. Great Dane says, I respect many of your educated and informed comments. Well done, as Skeptical. And I agree 100%. Skeptical, I have totally enjoyed the conversation. I think anybody that is able to articulate their thoughts in a calm manner, an intelligent manner, will always get my respect. Will always get my respect. That is a sign of maturity, when you can just say, this is how I feel, and I don't have to be a jerk about it. So I 100% respect this conversation. Skeptical, thank you so much. Thank you to Great Dane and Wendy and Miss Bailey's and every Willow B, everybody that has had a Dana that has had a part in this conversation. It's been a great conversation, an impromptu conversation. But we will do it again next week. Well, let's find out everything that's going on, and then we can have an even more conversation even more intelligent conversation next week, guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I don't know how this thing, I never look at the camera. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will try to figure out how to make this show work next week. But let me try to figure out exactly what I need to do so that it doesn't go out like it was tonight. I really don't know how to do that, but I have never had this happen to me before, ever. And I've been YouTubing for almost 2 years now. So let me figure that out. I'll work on it, and then I'll get back to everybody next week. All right. So guys, have a good night. I'm gonna take my black ass to bed. Thank you for a great conversation, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace.